So another benefit to working with these glazes is, of course, using it with distress. After all, that's what it's all about. And using it on a background, you can do a lot of really cool things. For example, if you have an inked background. Now, you can take the glazes and you could stamp in a color or clear. Doesn't really matter. So remember, if you introduce, we have a background, and if I introduced a color ink, so for example, if I stamped it in weathered wood, which is a kind of a gray blue, and then glazed it with cracked pistachio, it's going to give me a different tone than if I just use clear with cracked pistachio. So when you start playing around, even if you're one of those people that like ink up a stamp in different colors, your glazes will react that way as well. So I think the limit of how you do this is limitless, depending on how many colors you want to incorporate. But let's say we just had a background, and you know, when it comes to working with backgrounds, I love that splattery mess. I love that whole look of things. So I could take something like this. Maybe we're going to take a little bit of broken china because I want to add some of that. I'll have my paper, and I'm going to take my background, and I'm just going to take my water, and I'm just going to add some drips of water. The beauty of this is we can go in and emboss with water. Okay? So because the texture of the powder, we can take some water and it will stick exactly where we sprayed. So if we didn't want to splatter, if we wanted it to be a little bit more intense, we could have flicked water on for bigger drops, and then we just emboss it. So anything that you do in water, whether you mist through a stencil, whether you do anything like that, we can emboss with this glaze because it's not really coarse like regular embossing powder. It's kind of that in between. But how cool is that, embossing with water? Like, shut up. Yeah, I know, right? So taking a water brush or taking anything like that, you just get a whole different random pattern, a whole light speckle look. Now it takes a little bit longer to melt because what we have to do now is dry the water before the plastic melts. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So it takes a little bit longer, but not enough. I mean, not enough to pack a snack. So, but, you know, sometimes you have to emboss and it's like, I should have packed a snack for this one. Can you layer these? Absolutely. Can you mix your colors? Absolutely. The benefit of working with a glaze is the fact that you're only as good as your next layer. Putting on another color is going to change whatever is down before. It's not designed to add any significant texture other than that thin embossing. And you can see that down here, still not melted, right? That light color, because it hasn't gone to that translucent glaze. There we go. But what I love about this effect is that you truly get that splash, that splatter that you could never achieve with ink. If you had a splatter stamp, well then winner, winner. But just doing that with water is going to give me some really cool texture, some cool random background. Now,
thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Sprout Time videos for all the Creativation 2020 coverage.